Hi, welcome to Chemistry and Society at Rock Valley College. You have enrolled in the Summer 2 term for this class, and I'm sure everyone's well aware that means what it normally is taught in 16 weeks is condensed to 8 weeks. So you will see from right off the bat from week 1 that there is a lot to do. My recommendation is to set a schedule for yourself. Devote time every day or every other day that you're going to commit to, let's say 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or whatever it's going to take you, time every day to devote to this class. You don't want to get behind. Students rarely can catch up. So I want everyone to be successful, and that means getting a good start to the beginning of our term. And what I'm going to do for you right now is give you a tour of our class, just like I would if we were face-to-face. So I'm going to walk through things in this class. This is a little lengthy. Normally my introductory weekly videos are very, very short, but this is a lengthy one because we're going to go through the syllabus. I'm going to show you some different things online and walk you through the class. Okay, so this is what the class should look like for you. And before we even get into the details, a couple of things. One, I do use the calendar. Coming up for the next week, well, we have stuff due actually a week from today, or I'm sorry, a week from tomorrow, which is June 18th, based on when I set this. But use the calendar. The calendar will remind you of when you have almost everything due. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the majority of our assignments are already listed on the calendar, and you can see we start class officially Monday the 12th, and that Sunday you have a lot of things due. And Sunday is my typical due date with one exception, and that is at the very end of the class. The last couple of things are due when the college officially closes our class. So be really mindful of that. Typically our due date is Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., except for that very last week when the college schedules our class to be over. Now, speaking of calendar and speaking of Eagle, did you know that there is this is called Canvas, the program that we use, C-A-N-V-A-S? Canvas, and there is an app for Canvas. So on your smart devices, I would recommend you download and use Canvas app. It will text you if I send a message out. It will text you reminders, things from the calendar, reminders that if you haven't completed an assignment. It's great, so use the app. You also will find it useful when you're taking photos of your labs and need to upload pictures. I think you'll find it's really useful. Anyway, so I recommend that, and at the very least, if you don't use that, you need to be checking your Rock Valley College student email on a regular basis. This is an online class. Things are sent out and done electronically. You have to have frequent and regular access to a computer, and possibly you could get away with just a smart device instead of a laptop or a computer. But again, if you don't have a computer and you find that you need one or want one and you can't do it all on the smart device, then you're going to have to come to campus or maybe your local library to do some of the work. Okay, so let's go through this home page here. My name, as I said, is Dr. Liz. I guess what I go by. Uh-oh. See, I haven't checked things very well. I'll fix that in a minute. So sorry, there should be a link right here to my information, and I'll fix that later. I can't do it right now. I'm in student mode. But you'll see that in a second. The course syllabus I set up just a little bit ago, and some of you have probably already looked through it, but let me go through it with you right now. Let's see if I can't adjust my little screen here. Okay, so this is our course syllabus. Whoops, let me adjust it a little more. Sorry. Trying to make my screen bigger. I may not be able to do it. Let's see. Okay, I think I've got it set up now for the syllabus, so let's go through it. I'm not going to read you all the details. If you're bored someday, you can look through it all. I do need you to look through some of the important policies, but some of you probably don't care about some of these codes and things like that. So again, I'm Dr. Liz Hansen. I am a full-time faculty member and department chair. I have an office. However, in the summer, full-time faculty don't hold office hours. So if you need to meet with me, we can either meet online or you can schedule an appointment to come in and we can meet at some mutual time. I am on campus this summer, Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 3. I have other classes that meet, but I can be around if you need me. I have a mailbox. I don't anticipate anybody needing anything. For this class, it should all be submitted online. Here's my office phone number. If you need to call, leave a message. Here's my cell phone, but I only ask that you text me on that, not phone calls. And then my preferred method is either to email me at this address, or you can also send me a message through Eagle. Okay, this is the book. It is a new edition, and I'll tell you right now, and I'll tell you again in a minute, I'm having some technical difficulties, and that's why the class was not started on time. The online program has not been updated to match the edition. You probably don't want to hear all those details. However, hopefully within the next 24 hours, that'll be up and going, and you can get your book. You can start looking at your ebook and looking at your homework and things. But this will be the book, and I'm trying to get it fixed here soon. Additionally, everyone's received an email from me. I've been reaching out for several weeks already. You are required to have a lab kit. I realize it's expensive. This was actually noted when you registered for the class. So if you are not able to afford the lab kit, you will not be able to be in the class, unfortunately. Because this is an online class with a lab, you have to do labs. You're not able to share the kits either. It uses an online portal, and it only allows one student per portal. So you really absolutely have to have the kit. And in fact, you need it right away. If you haven't ordered it, I want you to pause this video right now and go get your book, go get your lab kit. You can purchase the lab kit online directly from the manufacturer and save yourself about $80. Or if you have financial aid or need to use the bookstore or want to use our bookstore, it's about $80 additional, so about $330, $340 through our bookstore. Okay, and the kits, I believe, have to be shipped to you. I know if you purchase online, they will ship. I don't know if our bookstore actually has the physically has the kit, or if you have to order it. But you need to be on this right away. You've got just this first week as your leeway, and after that, you're going to have to be doing labs just over a week from now. So you need to have the kit. There's late penalties if you're late on turning things in, so you want to make sure you have that kit right away. And if you already have the kit, when we go back into Eagle, I will show you how to get going with all that. You're also going to need a scientific calculator. In all honesty, because this is an online class, you could probably use your smartphone. My own iPhone has a calculator, and if I turn it so that I'm looking at it horizontally, it actually turns into a scientific calculator. And then last but not least, you're going to need a digital camera. You absolutely can take pictures with your phone, but every lab where we're using chemicals, you are going to have to take pictures, which is proof that you've done the lab. So you will have to have some kind of access to taking digital pictures to upload with your labs. Okay, here's kind of the stuff I'm not going to read through, other than to just say if you're in this class, you should be a non-science major. This class is not a prerequisite for anything, for any other chemistry class that is. So most of you, all of you, should be non-science majors. If you need to be taking general chemistry, if you're a science major, you should be taking Chem 99, so you're in the wrong class. Okay, in terms of prereqs for this class, however, there's none other than the a basic reading and basic math placement score. You don't have to have prior chemistry to be able to be successful in this class or take it. All right, first things first, and hopefully after we go through this syllabus, you'll be able to go right in and take this, but there is a 5-point syllabus quiz, which covers some of the important aspects that I'm going to talk about when I review this syllabus, and it is due by Sunday, June 18th. Again, that's our Sunday big due date. It's through Eagle, and no late quizzes are accepted, so jump in there. It shouldn't take you but a minute to complete. It's only 5 questions. All right, so for each chapter, I don't have online lectures. I found the students weren't viewing them. They're a little boring. So I require you to skim through the chapter, review that. You may also do it as you work through the homework that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. It's a learning module, and that's probably the best way to learn about each chapter. We do have an e-textbook available through the homework links I'm going to talk about. But if you find a used edition of the book somewhere, a paper copy, you're welcome to use that as well. You will, however, need the access code to access the online homework and exams. Those are done through the publisher's website. And again, I'll show you that in a little bit. All right, we have only one discussion for the summer. I figure you have enough work to do. So our only discussion that we're going to have is in week 1. And again, I'll show you that when we jump back into Eagle. You're going to introduce yourself, meet each other, meet me a little more, and I've got further details I'll show you about in the week 1 module here in a minute. That's worth a few points, I think 5 points as well. Exams, of course, there are exams in the class, and as we look through the schedule here in a minute, you'll see that after every few chapters, there is an exam. So there's a total of 4 regular exams scheduled. I drop your lowest 1 score. And whether that means you forgot to take an exam or you just whatever the lowest score is, whether it's a 0 or maybe a 90, your lowest gets dropped. These are online, so obviously open book, open note. Each exam has 20 multiple choice questions, and each exam is worth 100 points. You get only one attempt at the exam, and you've got 2 hours to complete it. So once you open an exam, you have to sit down and be ready to go. Homework's a little different, but this is the way exams work, typical to what a face-to-face exam would be. You can do exams late, but you're going to lose 1 point per hour they are late. So in other words, after a couple of days, they're not going to be worth any credit. So you need to keep a tight schedule. Make sure you know, either put it in your phone, put it on your calendar, print the syllabus, print the schedule that I'll show you in a minute, but you have to be very dedicated to keeping yourself on track. Okay, the final exam again is of course online because it's an online class. It's multiple choice, it's comprehensive, covers all the chapters. And you can do it in advance, but it has to be done no later than when the college says our class is over, which is Thursday, August 3rd, just before midnight. It's also worth 100 points, cannot be dropped. All right, late policies, I just kind of condensed them right here. The homework we're going to talk about, I haven't gotten to it yet. 1 point per calendar day it's late. It's only worth 10 points. So after 10 days, again, 0 points. Labs are 2 points per calendar day. Labs are worth 15 points each. So after essentially a week, your labs, if they're late, they're not worth any credit. Exams are 1 point per hour. Movies, that we're going to talk about in a little bit, your movie summaries. Movie summaries are 1 point per calendar day. The final exam cannot be completed late. The introductory discussion, and this should say, and that syllabus quiz cannot be done after week 1. So make sure you get those done. Okay, the lab. So as I said already, we're using an at-home lab kit. It's kind of fun. You'll get a box with all sorts of cool chemistry things in it. You can purchase it online. As I said, it's about $250, or you can go through our bookstore and pay them a nice little markup fee. It's about $335, $340. If you want to purchase it online, you just go to this link right here, holscience.com, or once you have purchased it, if you went through our bookstore, you're going to go there as well to set up your account. As I said, you have to have your lab kit in your hand by the end of week 1. We do have 2 labs in week 1, but as I show you in just a little bit, they can actually be performed without a kit. It's just kind of a getting started lab, learning about the program, and then a lab safety. So those can be done while you're waiting for your lab kit, but you have to have it at the end of this first week. Because starting next week, you're going to have 2, as I say, wet labs, where you're using chemicals and you need the supplies from your lab kit. There are no exceptions to this rule. You've got to have the kit. You've been getting emails for a couple of weeks from me, so I'm hoping that come Monday morning, everybody's either got their kit in their hand or you've already ordered it. Okay, as I said a little bit ago, in terms of having a camera, you've got to include a picture of every wet lab you complete as proof you've actually done the lab. No picture, no credit. If you forget to attach your picture and you come back late and do it, you're going to get penalty points. There'll be reminders I'll show you when I show you the drop box. Don't forget the pictures. You can complete the labs on your smart device going through this website, and I'm going to show you that in just a little bit. And as I said, you have to complete, these are the first 2 labs that were scheduled for week 1, and in fact the other labs will not open until you've done that. Just like in a face-to-face classroom, you have to come in and do lab safety before we let you start working with chemicals or anything like that. So these first 2 labs during week 1 have to be done, and then as you finish them, the other labs will automatically unlock for you. Okay, and if you are still waiting on your kit to arrive, you can go ahead and create your account and start doing those 2 labs. As I said, late labs are accepted, 2 points per day, so after 7 days, they're only worth 15 points total. Your late labs are going to be worth no points. There are several items that are not included in the lab kit you're going to need to purchase. These are listed just down here below and then also on the portal website for each lab kit. Nothing terribly expensive. Most of it you probably already have around the house, but I would suggest you look through the list here. I'll talk about some things here in a second and get the supplies and items you need all ready to go. As I said, you actually go to their website to complete the lab. I hope you find, my students in the past have found it very user-friendly. You actually go online, go into their portal, answer the questions, put your data in there, and then you click Submit Your Data when you're all done, and the website will generate a PDF file. You simply save that PDF to your computer, and then go back in Eagle and just upload it into the Dropbox. It's very simple. I do drop your lowest one lab score, like I do your exams, like I do your homework. So if you miss one, or can't get one done, you get one to drop. This next thing is a very important policy for the class. This is a lab class. You have to be doing the labs. So if you fail to complete 3 or more labs, you will see that your grade starts to be docked. After missing 3, you lose 1 letter grade. If you miss 4, your final letter grade will be lowered by 2. And if you miss 5 or more labs, we're only doing 13. If you miss 5 or more, you'll fail the class. And those numbers include the 1 drop score. So be sure you're doing the labs. Okay, this is that list I talked about. I list each lab here on the left and then what additional materials you'll need. Obviously, you can see a lot of the stuff you already have. The pie pans, you're going to be doing a lot of experiments inside the pie pan. It'll act like a lab benchtop would in terms of flammability, catching any chemicals, things like that. A student last semester told me you can get a multi-pack of these aluminum pie pans for like $1 at Gordon Foods, which is on Perryville next to Home Depot. So, and you can reuse anything that, hasn't been completely consumed or used up, use again. The pie pans you're going to need a couple of times. Bleach, you're also going to need some distilled water. I would suggest just going to the Meyer, Woodman's, wherever, and just get a gallon and have that for the summer. Okay, so look through that list, see what you've got, what you might need to pick up. Obviously, as an online class, we use Eagle all the time. As I've said already, you need access to that. All communication is going to be through there. All your work is through there. So if you're in here already watching this, you know how to get an Eagle. All right, the last couple of things here, homework. We're going to be using the program that comes with that access code that came with your textbook or that you purchased through the bookstore. McGraw-Hill is the publisher. Their program is called Connect. However, we're going to do these learning modules that are called Learnsmart. And you'll see it's already set up for you. It's listed by chapter. You will go in and work these learning modules for each chapter. Now, I'll be honest, some students may be able to get through a learning module in a half an hour and learn everything they need to do, answer questions. Some may take 2 or 3. The learning modules figure out what you know and what you don't know and take you from there. If you complete the module, you get 10 points for each chapter. Again, I do drop your lowest one score, so if you miss one or don't do well on one, it'll get dropped. One very important thing, and I'm going to show you this in a minute, you have to go through our class to access the website. You will get, with your code, you will get instructions, and it says go to their website. Don't do that, because if you go through their website to try and find our class and you work things that way, it won't tie into our gradebook. And I know everyone wants credit for their work, so you're going to go in directly through our class. Okay, movie summaries. So I've picked out 10 really cool, it's a combination of, in fact, blockbuster movies and documentaries that tie in with our class and I think are pretty interesting. You probably will even enjoy them more than you will the textbook. And so what you need to do, I've got the movies online. You can watch them in our class. Or if you have Netflix and you want to, pull them up through Netflix, you can too. You're responsible for watching the movie and then writing a 1-page summary. Now, a couple of things. This is not a composition class. I'm not worried about APA formatting. I'm not worried about any of that. Very, very simple. You need to write a summary. It has to be in your own words. I will be checking for plagiarism. Just summarize what the movie was about and how does it apply to the class? Meaning, why did I pick this movie? It has to be 1 full page typed text. I want double spaced, 12-point times New Roman font. Summarize the movie and how it applies to our class. That's it. No references, no title page, nothing more than that. But you're going to have to obviously do that in a program like Microsoft Word so that you can get all your formatting correct, save it to your computer, and then go in and upload it in the Dropbox in our class. Again, I drop your lowest one score so you can miss one if you want. And again, these have to be submitted in the Dropbox. They can't be emailed, they can't be anything else, they have to go through the Dropbox. I do accept late movie summaries, but docked 1 point per day they are late. And then finally, as I've already said, this is an online class. You're going to have to be active in the class throughout the whole summer. Okay, you guys can see the breakdown here. Again, exams, we have 4, but I'm only counting your top 3. We have 1 final exam. There are 13 labs you're going to perform. Again, asterisk means I'm only counting your top 12. I'm dropping your lowest. 10 chapters that we're going to be looking at, so 10 homeworks, but I only count your top 9. There's 10 movies, but again, I only count your top 9. Looks like I actually need to adjust the points here, guys. Sorry. The movies are worth 10 points. Syllabus quiz is 5 points, and the discussion, these 2 things we're doing right away, those are 5 points. I'll come back and fix the movie summaries. Those are actually worth 10 points. So movie summaries, that'll be worth 90, and that'll up this to, what is that, 770 points total. I'll fix that, though. Okay, and then just some important dates from the college. If you want to or need to drop the class and you want to get a full refund, you've got to do it by this Thursday. And you can drop through July 9th and have a W on your transcript. All right, here's the page that if you're going to print anything, this is the page to print. This is our schedule of what labs we're doing, what's going on in terms of like the book and our exams, what movies you're watching, and when things are due from that week. Okay, so for instance, starting Monday, you've got 2 labs to do the first week. These are the 2 introductory labs. You should be reading chapter 1 and doing the chapter 1 homework online. You've got 2 movies to watch, which means 2 movie summaries to write, and all of that is due Sunday, June 18th. Week 2 starts Monday the 19th. You again have 2 labs to do, these 2 labs. You're going to be doing chapter 2, homework, reading, going through all that, and then your first exam, which covers the previous 2 chapters, chapters 1 and 2. You have 1 movie. Since you've got an exam, I have just 1 movie that week, and all of that is due by Sunday, June 25th, just before midnight. The 26th of June, that week, you've got 2 labs, 2 chapters to read and review, 2 homeworks, 2 movies, and that's due by Sunday, July 2nd. The week of July 3rd, it is 4th of July, so if you're going to take some time off for the holiday, that's fine, but just keep in mind what you've got due. 1 lab that week, since it's the holiday week, I cut it back a little. 1 lab, 1 chapter with its homework, an exam over chapters 3 through 5, 1 movie, and then it's all due July 9th. And I think you kind of see where I'm going with all this. Exam 3 then covers chapters 6, 7, and 8. And exam 4 covers chapters 9 and 10, and then this final exam. So this last week of class, you don't have a whole lot going on in terms of you only have 1 lab, you have no movies, but you've got 2 exams, and all that's due by Thursday. Remember, I've said that before, except for that very last week, everything is due Sunday. But Thursday, August 3rd is the cutoff. No work is accepted after that, no matter what. That's when the college closes our class. All right, you can read through the course objectives if you'd like. Here's our topic outline that just explains what's going on in each chapter during the different weeks. If you need a tutor, Rock Valley has an awesome tutoring center that I highly recommend and is free to our students. The rest of this, obviously, you have to have access to a computer. Talked about that already. Here are just standard college policies. And then just a notice to you that certain circumstances may require some changes to the syllabus. I already told you I screwed up here with the points for the movies, and I'll fix that. That is our syllabus. So after finishing this, if you want to pause and go in and take the quiz, it might be a good idea to do so. Okay, meanwhile, let's go back to the class. So that was our syllabus. The lab kit, I know a lot of you have already been in here and looked through some of this stuff, but here's the, my links aren't working now, I'm sorry. I'll have to fix that link. It should be in the week 1. Well, I'll show you here in a second. The video that you're watching was here, and then down below, here's a start here. That's going to take us to, oh, my links, none of them are working. Sorry, you guys, I'll fix all these, I promise. I'll show you where it's going to take you in a minute here. This was going to go to our week 1 under modules. And then just some other things here. How to download and view the movies. You actually have to typically, Boy, nothing's working. You actually have to download the movie to your computer. You don't just watch the first 15 minutes, which is a preview mode. Or again, you can pull them up, almost all of them, if not all of them, on Netflix and watch them. You can click here for my contact info, which was also on the course syllabus. Here's a link that has a tutorial on how to access the online homework. Guys, this right now, the homework and exams, that's what I'm having the technical difficulties with and is not set up just yet. I anticipate by Monday morning, if their tech support is in tomorrow, that I'll have an answer and it'll be good to go by Monday morning. And then just some student resources, if you want to click here. There's a lot of free and great student resources for you as a Rock Valley College student. And then finally, my policy on promoting an inclusive community in the classroom. Okay, so compared to maybe your other classes, I don't have a lot of options over here. I want to keep things very focused on where you're supposed to be. So each week you go into modules. And so for instance, week 1 starts Monday the 12th, and here's all the different, I told you there was a lot to do, don't panic. This is all the stuff for week 1. So there's a little welcome note from me. That was supposed to be linked on the home page, so I don't know why that happened. But you can read through this. It's a little bit about me and just a welcome to class. Let's see if I can show you those other pages since I'm in here. No, I cannot, of course. Okay, I'll fix those links though on the home page. Here's the lab kit information. Some of you guys have already seen this. Again, just details. I already went over most of this stuff. There's the list of supplies. And then here's the, if you want to get the lab kit directly from the manufacturer, there's a PDF you can read through with all sorts of information and details there. Okay, here's the Students Getting Started Guide. That's for everybody to use, regardless of where you purchased your lab kit. And then our course link, which links you directly to the labs. Okay, introductions. That's where some of you have already even been in here. This is the 5-point graded discussion. Here is some just suggestions of things to tell us about. It just needs to be 50 words. I find when we're talking about ourselves, the word requirement goes very quickly, so you shouldn't have any problems. 3 points for introducing yourself, and then you need to reply to 2 other classmates over the week. I don't care what, I don't care how long, just engage with your classmates or with me, okay? And some of you guys, look at that, Emma was already on and going, okay? All right, and since the class technically hasn't started yet, I haven't even been in here. I didn't even realize everybody was already discussing things, so class wasn't supposed to be open, but okay, that's fine. Okay, back to modules. So that's the introduction. I have this is just optional. That's why it says optional. Just asking you some questions about you, just to help me get a little more familiar with you. Your name. Obviously, I know your name if you're taking it, but put your name in there. Whoops, I guess I got to fix that. Some of these things. Uh-oh. You know what? I'm just going to delete this. Let's just not do that. I'm sorry. I copied that from another class, and that is not correct. So I will remove the student info survey. You're going to tell me about yourself anyways in the discussion. So, okay, syllabus quiz. That's the thing I was telling you about that you can take right after my little video on what's going on in the class. So you should be ready to go. That is due by Sunday. No exceptions on that. So jump in. It shouldn't take you 30 seconds, maybe a minute. True, false, and then multiple choice questions, 5 of them. Student questions. This is a discussion forum. Again, it's just optional, and each week as your weekly module or box opens, you will see I have student questions. This is just an optional area. If you have a question that you think others might benefit from knowing the answer to, please post it in there versus just emailing me. I welcome emails. If it's anything sensitive about your grade or something just about you, definitely email. But if it's a question about the class that you don't mind sharing so that might help somebody else, post it here, please, so that I can come in and reply and everybody can see the answers. Okay, and then when it's ready, this is the thing that's broken that I haven't fixed yet. This will be where you click to go in and go through homework and do your homework. That's where you can access your ebook and all that good stuff, and that's what's on hold right now. Okay, and then the movie. So here's your first movie. It's by National Geographic. It's called The Human Footprint. And I'm going to show you how to access these movies. It's a little confusing. You open it, and then you actually have to click on the movie again. Okay, and it takes you somewhere, and you go from there. Okay, so it is a little confusing. You have to do it that way every time. Click the original link. Whoops. Click the original link, and then click the name again. Okay, and then after you've watched the movie and you're ready to submit your one-page summary, typed, double-spaced, size 12 times New Roman. You just come here in the drop box and it'll give you the option to submit an assignment. You don't have to type, you don't have to tell me anything else, you just upload the file. That's all I care about. What else do we got in here? Here's our first lab. Okay, you can click there. I haven't actually logged in from here yet, but again, this is the lab. You can either access it directly from there. I actually keep it on a separate page. I've got it open. And so I'm going to go right there right now. So once you're in, once you've got your username, once you put in your kit number, all that good stuff, and followed all those instructions, this is what's called the dashboard for the lab. And let me see, there was a video here. Yeah, so there's a video right here if you want to watch. It's only 4 minutes, not to panic. This just talks about it's called hands-on learning, or the lab kit. You don't have to do that, but it's optional. Otherwise, you need to go to our class, and I don't know why ours is not active, but it should be under all courses. This is us. You click on the LP27, whatever it is. Oh, it's actually going to show me, let's see, I need student view. So I look at it like you, sorry. Okay, so here you go. Here's the deal. Prerequisites. These are the first 2 labs. As it says here, these have to be completed in order, otherwise the lessons won't open. And you can do these 2 before you have your kit. It's all things that you're going to do online, just based on videos and things they're going to show you. And so again, when you actually start a lab, there's different things you're going to do. You're going to record some data, things like that, and then at the end, it'll have you, and I don't know, I haven't done this yet, so at the very, oops, I had it up there. It's showing me the answer key, I guess. Sorry, guys. At the very end, it will have your submit, it'll say like submit data, something like that. And when you click that, it'll put together and download a lab PDF for you that you come back in then and upload in the class, and I'll show you where you upload that file. It's right below it. So there's the lab, and then here's the Dropbox. Just like the movie, you just upload a file. You don't have to say anything else. You don't have to add anything else. Just upload the file for me. Oh, don't forget the picture. I do tell you that here. Oh, this one, I'm sorry, you don't need a picture. Labs 1 and 2 are just dry labs you're doing without your kit. Normally, when you need a picture, though, I'll remind you right here on these instructions. All right, and then here's the second movie and Dropbox and second lab. And I realize that, guys, this seems like an awful lot for 1 week. You have to remember, in a normal semester, this would be over 2 weeks. So typically in a week, we do 1 lab, we do 1 movie. But you're taking this in a condensed 8-week format, so hence double the amount of work and the amount of time. Okay, and then what happens? Well, where's everything else? Well, where everything else is starting the next week, what is that, June 19th, it'll open up, okay? Because I realize this is a lot of material and I don't want to overwhelm you with all the weeks at one time. Every Monday morning, a new week will open, okay? A new week will open and you'll have all those options. You're welcome to work ahead. You know, if you're in the homework and you want to work ahead, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, if you have access to it, you can do it in as advanced as you want. One other thing I wanted to show you down here, I have some other useful things that you may find useful, maybe you won't. Here's again how to access the online homework when it's open, okay? This is not our class, but I created this from like a template. Again, you've got to click a couple of times to get into the homework from our class. It's kind of like the movies, it's a little confusing, but it's just how Canvas is. So when the homework's ready, you're going to click on the link for the homework. Then it'll bring this up. It says load MH Campus in a new window, and you got to click that, and this new window pops open, and then one more time you have to click the connect button to actually go into connect. And unfortunately you have to access it through the class, otherwise it won't put your grades in our grade book. So I know everybody wants to do that. Let's see, what else do I have down here? How to download and view the movies. Well, I just showed you that, but if you forget, come back here. Here's again the lab kit information that I showed you. A couple of just tutorials, some videos of solved chemistry problems, how to convert, which means, for instance, how to convert milligrams into grams, how to convert inches into feet. There's a fun little tutorial here. And then here's a document on how to graph. You are going to do a graphing lab. I think it's lab, I gotta look. I don't remember which lab it is. You're going to do some graphing in a lab, but the online lab will pretty much walk you through that. It'll create graphs for you even with your data. And then last but not least, if you're a student who likes to have the PowerPoints for each chapter, you're welcome to download them. I have all 10 chapters just right here. You can download them and look at them anytime, use them, whatever you want when you're doing the exam. You also have your book. It's open, book open note. Okay, and then last but not least, obviously everybody loves to know what their grades are. Here are the grades. Here's all the items and their due dates and all that good stuff. You will notice, however, the homework and the exams are not listed. They're not listed on the calendar, and they're not listed in here. The reason is because they're in Connect. I can't have them in duplicate places. It's a really long, crazy IT problem. Once they're past their due date and I import the grades, they will show up. So you will not get reminders about the homework. You will not get reminders about the exam from Eagle like you will these other things, because I wasn't able to set them up in here. It causes an IT nightmare. So you're going to have to be on top of the exam due dates and the homework. And you see they coincide with everything else, the Sunday night deadline, with the exception of that very last week when they're due by Thursday. Okay, so that's why you don't see them in here or on the calendar. It's just an IT problem. And then last but not least, if you want to connect directly with one of your classmates or with me, everybody's listed in here. Some of us have pictures. Okay, we're all listed in here. You're welcome to reach out to a classmate directly, or you can send me a message, whatever you want to do. Speaking of how do you contact people, click on me. Please don't report an inappropriate picture of my cat. But over here, you just click send a message, and that'll send me a message in Eagle. If you have Eagle messages, over here the inbox would have a little red circle that has a number 1 in it, for instance, if you had one unread email. Again, please download the Canvas app on your phone. It's free. The first time you do it, it'll ask you for your Eagle. It'll ask you to look up your school and then put in your login. And then once you've logged in once, you never have to do it again. You just open the app every time. Most of this you can work through the app on your smartphone. It works great. The hands-on learning as well, you can do on, on that. But use whatever devices you can. I really recommend that. And you guys, that's really about it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Otherwise, I'm really looking forward to a great summer with you. Take care.